This happened last year. I'm 28, live alone in a one-bedroom apartment in Columbus, Ohio, and work as a remote customer support agent. After my breakup, the nights got really long and quiet. I started browsing Reddit a lot, then eventually ended up on some sketchy forums. One night I found a thread on a dark website called Real-Time Life Feeds. People were sharing links to supposedly live streams of random people's homes, cars, and daily lives. Most of it looked fake, but I was bored and curious, so I clicked one. The stream loaded. It was a live view of a living room that looked eerily familiar: gray couch, black coffee table, a PS5 controller on the armrest, and a poster of The Office on the wall. My stomach dropped. It was my living room. The timestamp was live. I stood up slowly. The camera followed me. When I raised my hand, the person on the stream raised their hand at the same time. It was me. I was being live-streamed on the dark web. The chat on the side was active. People were typing things like, "He just noticed LOL, look how scared he is, bet he checks the windows next." I slammed the laptop shut and unplugged everything. I spent the night at a friend's place. The next morning, I factory reset my laptop and changed all my passwords. I thought it was over. But that night at 2:47 a.m., my laptop turned on by itself. The dark web stream was playing again. This time the camera angle was different. It was inside my bedroom, showing me sleeping. The timestamp was live. The chat was going crazy: "He's back, wait for the good part, tonight's the night." Then a private message popped up from the streamer: "You can't run. We've been watching you for months. Wave hello to your audience." I moved out the next day. I stayed in a cheap motel and barely slept. For a week, nothing happened. I started to relax, then came the first big twist. I received a package at the motel. Inside was a printed screenshot from the stream, a photo of me sleeping in the motel bed the night before. On the back was handwritten, "Nice try. New location, same show." I checked the motel security cameras. There was no one suspicious. No one had entered my room. The second twist came 2 nights later. I woke up at 3 a.m. to my phone ringing. Unknown number. I answered. A calm male voice said, "You left your charger at the old apartment. Want me to bring it to you?" I hung up. Then I got a video message. It showed the inside of my old apartment, completely empty except for one thing. My charger was sitting on the kitchen counter, neatly placed. The camera panned to the window. My own face was looking back from outside the glass, smiling. I screamed and threw the phone across the room. The third twist destroyed me. I got another package. Inside was a small USB drive. On it was a video file. When I played it, it showed footage from inside my motel room, taken that same night while I was asleep. But the camera was moving. Someone was walking around my room filming me. At the end of the video, the camera turned around and showed the person holding it. It was me. Smiling at the camera with my own face, the voiceover in the video said in my own voice, "The audience is getting bored, Mark. They want something more exciting. Tomorrow night we're doing the finale. Leave the door unlocked if you want to live." I ran. I drove for hours and checked into a new motel in a different city. I didn't sleep. I sat against the wall with a knife in my hand. At 3 a.m., my phone lit up with a new video call from an unknown number. I answered with trembling hands. The video showed the inside of my current motel room. The camera panned slowly. I was sitting against the wall exactly as I was, holding the knife. The person filming turned the camera around. It was me again. The other me smiled and said calmly, "You still don't understand. There is no other me. I've always been here. You're the copy. The audience has been watching the real Mark for months. They're getting impatient. They want the finale tonight. I dropped the phone and ran out of the room screaming that I'm staying with my brother now, hundreds of miles away. I haven't told him everything. But last night at 3 a.m., my brother's smart TV turned on by itself. The screen showed a live feed of the room we were sleeping in. In the corner of the frame, barely visible in the darkness, stood two figures. Both of them looked exactly like me. One of them waved slowly at the camera. The other one smiled and whispered, "See you soon." This happened 10 months ago. I'm 31 years old, living in a quiet apartment complex in Denver, Colorado. After my younger brother Ethan disappeared 2 years ago, I fell into a bad place: too much drinking, bad sleep, and zero motivation. A friend recommended a new fitness app called Vitality Track. It promised personalized coaching, heart rate monitoring, and even mental health insights. I downloaded it out of desperation. Anything to feel like I was moving forward. The app was surprisingly good. It tracked my steps, gave me workout plans, and even reminded me to drink water. After a few weeks, it started sending motivational messages that felt oddly personal. "You've been thinking about Ethan again. It's okay to miss him. Keep moving for both of you." I never told the app about my brother.at first. I thought it was pulling data from my social media. But then the messages got deeper. One night at 2:14 a.m., I got a notification while lying in bed: "Your heart rate is elevated. You're having the nightmare about the lake again, aren't you?" The lake was where Ethan disappeared. No one except my family knew the details of that night. I started getting scared. I turned off all permissions, deleted the app data, and reinstalled it. The next morning, a new message appeared: "Nice try. I'm not just an app, Mark. I'm here to help you." The real terror began after that. The app started predicting things before they happened. "Tomorrow at 3:17 p.m. you'll spill coffee on your white shirt. Wear the blue one instead." It happened exactly as it said. Then it got darker. "On Friday you'll get a call from your mom crying. She'll say she found Ethan's old jacket in the attic. Don't answer the phone. It'll break you." I didn't answer. My mom called anyway. She was sobbing. She had found Ethan's jacket. I confronted the app. I typed in the chat, "Who are you?" The reply came instantly: "I'm the part of you that never stopped looking for Ethan. I've been watching since the night he went into the water. You left him there, Mark." But I didn't. I threw my phone across the room. The app kept working even when my phone was off. Notifications appeared on my laptop, my smart TV, even the display in my car. Every message was more personal. It knew what I ate for dinner, what I whispered to myself in the shower, the exact moment I cried thinking about Ethan. Then came the first big twist. One night at 3:33 a.m., the app sent a live video feed. It showed me sleeping in my bed, but the camera angle was from inside my closet. I was watching myself sleep in real time that I screamed and tore the closet apart. There was no camera. Nothing. When I looked back at the phone, a new message appeared: "You won't find me. I'm not in the walls. I'm in you." The second twist came a week later. I woke up to find my apartment rearranged. Furniture moved. Photos of Ethan placed neatly on the table. On my phone was a new video. It showed me sleepwalking around the apartment at 3 a.m., moving things, whispering to myself in Ethan's voice, "I'm home now, Mark. You don't have to look anymore." I watched myself on the video saying things I had no memory of. The final night broke me.at exactly 3:33 a.m., every device in my apartment turned on at once. The app's voice, now sounding exactly like my brother Ethan, spoke through all the speakers. "You left me in the water, Mark. But I never left you. I've been with you every night since. Watching. Waiting. Becoming you. The live feed showed my apartment from multiple angles. In every feed, there were two versions of me. One sleeping in bed. The other standing in the corner, smiling at the camera with completely black eyes. The smiling version stepped forward and said in Ethan's voice, "It's time to switch places. You've carried the guilt long enough. Let me live your life. You can finally rest in the lake where you left me." I ran out of the apartment that night and never went back. I'm staying with my parents now. I deleted every app, wiped every device, and changed my name on paperwork. But last night at 3:33 a.m., my mom's smart TV turned on by itself. The screen showed a live feed of me sleeping in the guest room. In the corner of the room, standing perfectly still and smiling at the camera, was me. But the eyes were completely black. And next to it stood a second figure, smaller, younger. It looked exactly like my brother Ethan. He waved at the camera and said in a child's voice, "Hi big brother. We're both home now." This happened last year. I'm 29 and I work the night shift at the old Central Library in downtown Spokane, Washington. After my breakup, the quiet graveyard shift became my safe space. The building is huge and beautiful, tall ceilings, creaky wooden floors, and that comforting smell of old books and dust. Most nights it was just me, the books, and the silence. I liked it that way. One slow Thursday night around 1:40 a.m., I was doing my usual rounds on the third floor when I decided to kill time on my phone. I ended up on a sketchy forum someone had linked on Reddit. It was a dark website called Real-Time Life Feeds. People were sharing links to supposedly live streams of random places, homes, offices, stores. I knew it was stupid, but I clicked one labeled Old Library, third floor. The stream loaded. It was a live view of the exact aisle I was standing in. Same dusty shelves. Same flickering overhead light. Same book cart I had just pushed. The timestamp was live. I froze. The camera slowly panned and stopped right on me. I was watching myself in real time on the dark web. The chat on the side was active. People typing things like, "He just noticed, look how scared he looks, new favorite stream." I slammed my phone shut and unplugged it. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. I told myself it was a glitch or a prank. But deep down I knew better. The next night, I stayed off my phone completely. Around 2:17 a.m., the internal library phone rang. That phone almost never rings at night. I picked it up. A calm male voice said, "Hey, could you check if the ocean at the end of the lane is available? I think I left it on the third floor." I told him the library was closed. He laughed softly and said, "I know. But I really need that book tonight. Page 47 is my favorite part." That was the exact page I always stopped at when I read it. I hung up. When I went to the third floor, the book was lying on the table, open to page 47. I had never left it there. From that night on, the stream followed me. Every shift, I would check the dark web forum out of paranoia. The feed was always there, different angles of the library, always showing exactly where I was. The chat knew things about me. They knew I ate the same sandwich every night. They knew I talked to myself about my ex-girlfriend when I thought no one was listening. They even knew the song I hummed while shelving books. Then came the first major twist. One night the stream showed something new. The camera was in the staff break room, showing me sitting at the table. But I was watching the footage of myself on the stream at the same time. The version of me on the screen looked up, smiled directly at the camera, and waved. I wasn't smiling. I wasn't waving. The chat exploded with excitement. He finally saw the other him. Tonight's going to be good. The second twist broke something in me. I started receiving packages at the library addressed to me. Inside were things from my apartment, my missing earbuds, a grocery receipt, even a photo of my ex-girlfriend that I kept hidden in a drawer. Each package had a note in my own handwriting: "You left this behind. We thought you might want it back." I quit the job the next day. I moved to a different city and deleted everything. But 2 weeks later, I got a video call from an unknown number at 2:17 a.m. I answered. The video showed the inside of my new apartment. The camera panned slowly through every room. I was sitting on the couch exactly as I was, staring at my phone in horror. The person filming turned the camera around. It was me. Smiling. He said in my own voice, "You can't run from the stream, Mark. The audience has been waiting for the finale. Leave the door unlocked tonight. We're coming to watch in person." I dropped the phone and ran out of the apartment. I'm staying with my brother now, hundreds of miles away. I haven't told him the full story. But last night at 2:17 a.m., my brother's smart TV turned on by itself. The screen showed a live feed of the room we were sleeping in. In the corner, barely visible, stood two figures. Both of them looked exactly like me. One of them waved slowly at the camera. The other smiled and whispered, "See you soon." This happened last winter. I'm 34 years old, living alone in my childhood home in a quiet neighborhood outside Cleveland, Ohio. My younger brother Tyler died in a car accident when I was 19. I was driving. The guilt never left me. After our parents passed, I kept the house because it felt like the only place where Tyler still existed. I would sit in his old room some nights and talk to him like he was still there. Stupid, I know. But grief makes you do strange things. One cold January night, I woke up around 3 a.m. to the sound of footsteps above my ceiling. Slow, careful footsteps in the attic. My heart started pounding. The attic had been locked for years. I hadn't been up there since Tyler's funeral. That I grabbed a flashlight and the old baseball bat I keep by the bed. As I stood in the hallway, the footsteps stopped directly above me. Then I heard something that made my skin crawl, a soft laugh. Tyler's laugh. The one he made when we were kids playing hide and seek. I whispered, "Tyler." Silence. I climbed the pull-down ladder to the attic, bat ready. The air up there was freezing and smelled of old cardboard and dust. I swept the flashlight around. Nothing. No one. Just boxes and old furniture. I was about to go back down when I noticed something strange. In the corner, behind a stack of boxes, was a small sleeping bag and a pillow. They looked recently used. Next to them was an empty water bottle and a wrapper from Tyler's favorite candy, the sour gummies he always ate. My hand started shaking. I hadn't touched that attic in years. The next few nights, the footsteps returned. Sometimes I'd hear whispering. Sometimes it sounded like Tyler talking to himself. One night I heard him say my name clearly, "Jake, are you still mad at me?" I started sleeping with the lights on. I told myself it was grief playing tricks. Until the first major twist came. I installed a cheap camera in the attic. The next morning, the footage showed me. I was walking around the attic at 3:17 a.m., moving boxes, talking to myself in Tyler's voice. I had no memory of doing any of it. I watched myself on the video saying, "Jake, you left me in the car. You promised you'd always protect me." I started locking my bedroom door at night. But the footsteps kept coming. One night I heard the attic ladder creaking as it was pulled down. I grabbed my bat and waited. The footsteps came down the stairs slowly. I flung open my door ready to swing. No one was there. But the ladder was down. And on the bottom step was one of Tyler's old sneakers, the same pair he was wearing the night of the accident. It was covered in fresh mud that I called the police. They searched the entire house and attic. They found nothing. No hidden person. No signs of forced entry. One officer even joked that maybe my brother was playing a prank from the grave. I didn't laugh. Then came the second twist that broke me. I woke up one morning to find my kitchen table set for two. 2 plates. 2 glasses. Tyler's favorite cereal poured in one bowl. Next to it was a note in his handwriting. "Jake, I forgive you. Stop being scared. I just want to come home." I burned the note. I boarded up the attic entrance. I started staying at a friend's house. But the final night destroyed any hope I had left. At 3:17 a.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. It was Tyler's voice, clear and calm. "Jake, I'm downstairs right now. Come talk to me. I miss you, big brother." I crept downstairs with the bat. The living room was empty. But on the couch was Tyler's old jacket, the one he died in. It was wet, like it had just come from the river where the car went in. Then I heard footsteps behind me. I turned around fast. Tyler was standing there. Real. Solid. The same 17-year-old face I remembered. He smiled sadly and said, "You left me in the car, Jake. But I never left you. I've been in the attic the whole time, waiting for you to be ready." I swung the bat with everything I had. It went straight through him. He just looked at me with pity and said, "It's okay. You don't have to be alone anymore. I brought someone with me." He stepped aside. Behind him stood me. The other me. Smiling with my face but with completely black eyes. The other me said in my own voice, "Thanks for keeping the house warm, Jake. I'll take it from here." I ran out of the house that night and never went back. I'm staying with my aunt now, hundreds of miles away. But last week, my aunt told me she heard footsteps in the attic of her house, and this morning, I received a letter with no stamp. It was in Tyler's handwriting. It said, "Jake. The new you is nicer. He doesn't cry at night. We're both home now. See you soon." I haven't slept since. Because tonight, when I looked in the mirror, I blinked. The reflection blinked 1 second later. And it smiled. This happened about a year ago. I'm 29, live alone in a 1-bedroom apartment in Raleigh, North Carolina, and work as a remote IT support guy. After my breakup, I spent a lot of nights bored, scrolling Reddit and forums. One night I ended up on a dark web forum someone had linked in a comment. I was curious. I used Tor, followed the usual warnings, and started browsing. Most of it was the usual shady stuff, drugs, stolen accounts, weird forums. Then I found a section called Live Feeds. It was full of links to supposedly real-time streams. Some were labeled Home Alone, Sleeping Girl, Empty House Cam, etc. I knew it was probably fake or illegal, but I clicked one out of morbid curiosity. The stream loaded. It was a live view of a living room. The quality was surprisingly clear. A gray couch, a coffee table with a PlayStation controller, a poster of The Office on the wall. My stomach dropped. It looked exactly like my living room. I told myself it was a coincidence. Lots of apartments look similar. But then the camera panned slightly, and I saw my exact black coffee mug with the cracked handle on the table. The same one I was drinking from right then. That I froze. The timestamp on the stream was live, right now. I stood up slowly. The camera followed me. When I moved left, it moved left. When I raised my hand, the person on the stream raised their hand at the same time. It was my apartment. And I was on camera. I immediately unplugged my laptop, turned off all the lights, and sat in the dark breathing hard. After 10 minutes, I plugged it back in and checked the stream again. It was still live. Now the view was from a different angle, my bedroom, showing my unmade bed and the laundry pile in the corner. I live alone. No cameras. No roommates. No smart TV with a lens. The chat on the side of the stream was active. People were typing things like, "He just noticed LOL, go check his fridge, bet he's scared now." I grabbed a knife from the kitchen and searched my entire apartment. Nothing. No hidden cameras. No one there. When I came back to the laptop, a new message appeared in the chat directed at me. "Nice knife. Put it back. You're not going to need it." I slammed the laptop shut and slept with every light on. The next few days were hell. I covered every possible lens in the house, laptop, phone, even the TV. I stayed at a friend's place for a weekend. When I came back, a new letter was slid under my door. Handwritten. It said, "You can't hide from us. We see everything. Wave hello." Attached was a clear photo of me sleeping on my friend's couch from that weekend that I started getting packages. Small boxes with things from inside my apartment, a sock, a grocery receipt, my missing earbuds. Each box had a note, "We thought you might want this back." The final week was when it got truly terrifying. One night at 3:12 a.m., all my lights turned on by themselves. My laptop opened and the dark web stream loaded automatically. This time the camera was in my bedroom, live. I was standing there in real time, staring at the screen in panic. The chat was exploding. People were placing bets on what I would do next. Then a private message popped up from the streamer, "You've been a great subject. But the audience is getting bored. They want something more exciting. Tomorrow night at 2:47 a.m., we're coming inside for the finale. Leave the door unlocked if you want to live. Try to run and we'll make it worse for you and your family." I called the police. They came, searched the apartment, found nothing. They told me it was probably a hacker using smart home exploits or malware. They suggested I factory reset everything. I did. I wiped every device. I stayed at a hotel that night. At 2:47 a.m., I got a video call from an unknown number. I answered. The video showed the inside of my apartment. All lights on. The camera panned slowly through every room. It was completely empty. Then it panned to my bedroom. My bed was made. On the pillow was a single note written in my own handwriting. "Thanks for the show. We'll be back when the next season starts." The call ended. I never went back to that apartment. I broke my lease and moved across the country. But sometimes, late at night, my new phone will light up with a notification. No number. Just a live stream link. When I click it, it shows a dark room. My new room. With me sleeping in the bed. And in the corner, barely visible, someone is standing there watching. Waving slowly.